Last game, big third quarter for you guys. How do you feel you guys will play against Western if you are able to execute the way you did there?
Well, we're going to have to come out and play strong and put together 4 quarters, and I don't think we can necessarily afford to start slow. I think anytime you're playing a really good football team that has the ability to beat you in a lot of different ways, you've got to start fast, and that's something that our team is preparing for. And ultimately, it's going to come down to just being aggressive in all 3 phases and attacking mindset. And I think that's what's going to allow us to play well.
When you're playing a team that's beat another team by 83 points, is that daunting at all for you guys?
No, not necessarily. Every opponent and every matchup is unique, and it's kind of a one-off, to be honest. And you just, you look at who they've become and who we've become, and you look at that matchup in particular, and you certainly can't read too much into the previous opponents, other than just, taking the schematics out of it. The score is often something you don't focus on too much as a coach.
What do you think is your biggest strength heading into this week?
Sorry?
Your biggest strength heading into this week?
Yeah, I just think our team, our team connection and the brotherhood that they're building and the respect that they have for our program and our opponents and their commitment to preparation. I think that's our biggest strength.
Nice. And then I guess if there's one area of Western's game that you guys think you maybe have an advantage on, what do you think that is?
Well, we got to find little advantages all over the field. I don't think there's one thing that's going to stand out for us, but if we can find something in the kicking game, find something with our offense, find something with our defense, and make sure we tackle well, I think we got a great chance.
Sounds like there's going to be a big crowd this weekend. How important is that for you guys when you play at home?
Yeah, we love it. It's a difference maker for us, and it's something that we're trying to build here as consistent as possible. And this time of the year, you get students, this will be their first opportunity to see a home game, so we're looking forward to having the students out and the community out just to see, a big-time matchup, a historic rival, and 2 really good football teams on what should be a great Saturday afternoon.
Coach, you talk about players need to be aggressive. Having 6,000, however many plus in the stands, how do they feed off that energy and play more aggressive?
Yeah, well, the key is to go out and play great football, which is, you're technical, you're being very fundamentally sound, and then you can typically feed off the energy right after plays. Right after that play's done and you've done your job really well, you can feed off that energy and then reset yourself. And that goes a long way in football. You see that across, North America when we big football games, and I think we'll see that this afternoon.
Mustangs have a lot of good players. Are there any matchups in particular you're looking forward to watching or seeing your guys sort of take that challenge?
Yeah, well, they've got tremendous personnel all over the field, and their quarterback's playing really well, and that running back stable, and Keon Edwards, those guys are always a threat, and they are again, and it's another quality offensive line, that's going to be one of the best around, and the receiving core, has blown the game open for them a little bit with some deep balls. So, defensively, they're really impressive again. They've got some great boundary defensive backs into the short side of the field, and their middle linebacker is a big-time player as well. And but we've got some guys on our team that are playing really well and that are looking forward to, a big matchup and a big challenge.
Finally, or for me, when you talk about middle linebackers, you got a couple that I'm expecting big games from them, and Justin and Olivier.
Yeah, I think our linebacking core has done a great job to start the season, and Justin's really emerged, taking a leadership role, and you can see that translating to the defense and their understanding of what's going on. And Sterling Soonrine, tackling well again and playing the pass well. So, it's a good core group of guys, and we have some depth there. There's ability to rotate some guys in as well. So I think they've tackled well last week, and we're going to need them to tackle well again.
I'll just tack on grand opening of the Land Pavilion this week and the official kind of unveiling of this facility. You'll have alumni coming back who are 60-plus years since they played for Queens, dignitaries from across town. I guess what does that mean to the program to have that kind of audience, knowing it's literally generations of Queens football will be present?
Yeah, what's unique about us and a lot of schools, but I think we take a lot of pride in it. You not only have your community and your student body and the faculty and whatnot, but you also have your alumni, and that represents so many different decades, and to be able to have some of the early 60 guys in particular back means a lot because they had a lot of success. They played for Frank Tyndall. They know this matchup very well, and for them to come back in the new home of Queens football and in some cases see their face on the wall, I think that's pretty special for them. So I think they'll enjoy the atmosphere in the stands, the football team that we have that's representing the brand, and the new facility that celebrates a lot of their success.
It's quite the facility. How much does having some obviously state-of-the-art facility, what does that do for the team?
Yeah, I think it gives us a true home. You know, the players have an outstanding locker room to spend a lot of time in and prepare for practice and games. And, you know, the coaches have a great spot to work and prepare. And therapy right here makes it easier for the players. And then this meeting room, you know, the ability to have team meetings and then breakout meetings, and that all be within, you know, a 10, 20-second walk where you're coming from. It just makes that day-to-day operation a little bit more efficient. And just giving us a true home, you know, to be able to celebrate some things and to be able to promote our culture and the way we do things and give us a spot to just spend a lot more time together. That's been the big difference.
Great. Thanks, Coach.
Okay, thanks a lot, guys.
Describe the atmosphere when you're playing Western.
It's definitely exciting. Obviously, this has been a long rivalry with them, so I think especially them coming to our stadium, it's been 2 years. With it being a night game, we're able to have more fans out, so it's definitely a great atmosphere to be in.
What are you watching out for from them?
I'd say more their run. Obviously, we know that they have a strong O-line, great running backs, especially with their depth. So I think just the run game is definitely something we're focused on.
Darien, you played a little bit of inside, a little bit of outside this year. Is it the same goal, sort of, wherever you're lined up? Or?
Yeah, it's kind of the same mentality regardless of where I'm lined up. I'm just trying to get to the ball carrier.
Yeah. And yeah, to touch on that, Steve talked about, you know, playing with energy, with, you know, a packed stands. Is it easier to play with energy? Do you feed off the fans?
Yeah, it's definitely like external motivation. Obviously, we have our own interior motivation in regards to our team goals, but like having the fans there to cheer you on definitely helps.
For sure. And then, I mean, Mustangs have some players, Keon Edwards, Evan Hillock.
Yeah.
Are you keying on anyone in particular, or is it just?
It's more them as a team, not anyone specific, but like them as a team. We know they're a very well-oiled machine, so we just kind of focus on them as a whole.
For sure.
Whoever's got the ball.
Yeah.
And then touching on a question Chris asked, there's going to be eras of different Queens football players here for the Grand Unveiling. Is that inspirational to this current era?
Oh, for sure, because I kind of want to, not me, but like as a team, we want to represent the past and future of the school, so we kind of have to represent this weekend.
Awesome.
Your name again?
Darien Newell.
Great. Thanks, Darien.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, I guess coming off the win last week, what do you take from that going into Saturday's game?
Yeah, you know, last week we came out with a lot of energy and we played very aggressive, very physical, which is something that we didn't do as much of in week one. So it was good to just see that added layer of intensity and physicality and just more energy coming into last week, and that helped us get a great result. And even this week we've had a lot more, it's been a lot more technical, and we've been very physical, very high energy throughout practice as well. That's been the emphasis. And we just want to level up every week. So this week we're feeling a lot better than we felt last week, and that's great heading into the game.
Talk about leveling up. If we're doing video game references, is Western kind of like the final boss?
You know, we're just treating them like any other game, really. Every week we just do our 1/12, and we, like, everyone on the field does their 1/12, does their job. Focus on getting better technically, getting better in the schemes, and just really understanding our position on the field, and then just going out there and doing our job. So we're not as concerned with the other team, we're more concerned about improving every day and just becoming the best possible players we can be every single week.
Ashton, you've locked down a lot of the great OUA receivers. Manye Jones coming to town, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Is that a challenge you're looking forward to?
Yeah, you know, he's a great receiver, he's a great player. He's very technical, very fast guy, but we have good schemes involved, and I plan on just doing, like I said, my 1/12, doing my job out there, and if it's playing man coverage on him, it's going to be playing man coverage. If it's falling into the zone, it's doing any of my responsibilities, really. He's a great player, but we have good schemes, and I just plan on doing my job.
And then if you want to talk about Evan Hillock, I know you go up against a pretty great quarterback at practice every week, so what's the challenge like with a quarterback like Evan?
Yeah, you know, they have a great scheme over there, the Mustangs do. Heavy run, and then off the play action, that's when the holes open up. So it's really, I know it sounds like a broken record, but everyone has to go back to doing their job. And if everyone does their 1/12, does their responsibility, then we should have holes covered up. We should be able to plug the run game, and then just the windows to pass will just be very small and almost none if everyone executes at the highest level possible. So it's really just about all of us focusing together, playing as a unit, communicating with one another, and then everything should take care of itself.
And then finally, a lot of different eras of Queens football will be here for the Lion Pavilion opening. Is that inspiration for this current era that you guys are a part of?
Yeah, you know, it's great to see all the support of all the alumni that have been here throughout Queens' historic history. And it really motivates us to just go out there and just play our best football. Every week we try to play our best. But with all the alumni here supporting us, with the new pavilion, with all the faith that the university, athletics, and rec have put into us, we just want to go out there every week and just put on a show and play it to the best of our abilities so that we can come out with a victory and make everyone proud.
Thanks, Ashton. Appreciate it.
Good.
Hey, Nathan. Steve was talking about the depth of the receiver group this year. Can you talk about that room and everybody's roles, and if it's a supportive group, and how you go about starting the game?
Yeah, definitely. The receiver group has grown a lot these last couple of years. We have a lot of depth with with a lot of the rookies that came in last year. They stepped up a lot during camp, and now we just have a lot of depth within all position groups in the receiver groups. It was pretty good.
Awesome. Talking about the game on Saturday, Steve was talking about having to play with energy. There's going to be pretty much a packed house. Are you going to be able to feed off the fans' energy, the loudness of the building?
Oh, definitely. The students that come out definitely give off a lot of energy that helps us prepare, that pretty much really give us a lot of motivation to really perform right and put on a show for the fans.
For sure. The Mustangs have a lot of good players everywhere. Can you talk about sort of their secondary and the challenge that you and the rest of the receivers and Alex is going to face come Saturday?
Yeah, definitely. No doubt their defense is strong, and their secondary in particular has been good these last few games. But I feel as a group we'll be able to handle them, and with the game plan that we have, we should be able to execute very well.
Great, thanks. And then finally, I asked the other players, there's going to be a lot of different eras of Queens football here for the opening of the Grand Pavilion. What type of inspiration do you take being on the current sort of Queens football era, and how do you want to play sort of in front of, past generations?
Here, I just want to pretty much just put on a show for all the fans that have come here that have played in the past, and really just show them who we are now today.
Great. Thanks, Nathan.
Perfect. Thank you.
Perfect. Yeah. Appreciate it. Justin, ton of tackles the first game. I think Olivier maybe took the lead after Toronto. Any friendly rivalries there with him and the linebacking core? Who can get to the ball the quickest, maybe?
I wouldn't call that a rivalry. More we just really want to do our job. Every week the game plan is going to be different. The team that we're going to play is going to be different. So, as long as both of us and all the linebackers do our job, we're definitely gonna rack up the tackles, and that's a big thanks to our D-line. Our whole defense runs through our D-line, and I think those guys are the big reason that we've had some pretty good numbers so far this year.
Can you speak about the linebacker group? Is it supportive? Everybody's just hoping it's.
Oh yeah, it's a great group this year. I really love the guys. There's great energy. I feel every practice we bring it. The guys are really great at doing what they have to do. We have really good leadership from the older guys all the way to the first and second years. So I really think that this year's linebacker group can do special things.
Awesome, thanks. And Keon Edwards coming to town, he's always a big challenge. Can you talk about him and what maybe the linebacker group wants to try and contain him and how?
Oh, we're not worried about that. I think as long as we do our job as a defense and we stick to the plan, we're going to have a great day.
Looking like a packed building on Saturday. Does the team, are they going to be able to feed off sort of the energy and the loudness of the stadium on Saturday?
Yeah, I think it's always great when we have a lot of fans here at Richardson. It's definitely an advantage for us, and the more people come, the more the energy is going to be through the roof here.
Great, thanks. And then finally, just speaking with the other players as well, there's going to be a ton of eras of different Queens football in the house for the Lang Pavilion opening. Do you pull any inspiration being part of the current era to play in front of all that history?
Oh yeah, I think we definitely came at a great time here, and all that is thanks to the alumni, and I'm definitely excited to have a great game in front of them.
Perfect. Thanks.
All right, thank you.
Appreciate it.